In the winter of 1570, the city of Novgorod stood frozen under a thick blanket of snow. Once one of the richest and most powerful cities in Russia, Novgorod had long been known for its independence, its trade, and its proud people. But that winter, something far darker was approaching. At the center of it all was Ivan the Terrible, the first Tsar of Russia, a ruler feared as much as he was obeyed. Rumors had reached Ivan's ears. He believed that Novgorod was planning to betray him, that its leaders were secretly negotiating with Lithuania to defect. Whether this was true or not didn't matter. In Ivan's mind, betrayal demanded punishment. And not just punishment, but an example that would terrify the entire country. So, in January 1570, Ivan set out toward Novgorod with his personal army, known as the Oprichniki, men dressed in black, riding black horses, carrying symbols of death. They were not just soldiers. They were executioners. As Ivan's army approached, panic spread through Novgorod. The city gates were closed, but it made no difference. There was no army strong enough to stop the Tsar. When Ivan arrived, he did not negotiate. He did not ask questions. He began a reign of terror that would last for weeks. The massacre started with the city's elite, nobles, officials, and clergy. Many were accused of treason without any evidence. They were dragged from their homes, tortured, and executed in front of others. Some were beaten until they confessed to crimes they never committed. Others were burned alive. But it didn't stop there. Ivan ordered that entire families be punished. Women, children, even servants, no one was spared. The idea was simple: erase any trace of disloyalty. One of the most horrifying parts of the massacre took place near the Fokhov River. Prisoners were tied up, beaten, and then thrown into the icy water. Some were still alive when they hit the freezing current. Others were chained together, sinking instantly, and those who tried to swim were pushed back under the water with poles. For days, the river carried bodies downstream. Witnesses later described the water as dark and filled with the dead. Inside the city, the violence continued. Homes were looted. Churches were desecrated. Monasteries were attacked. Their wealth seized. Their inhabitants killed. Even the clergy were not safe. Priests and monks, once thought protected by their faith, were tortured and executed. Ivan himself was often present, watching the punishments. Some accounts say he personally ordered new methods of torture. Others claim he took part in the interrogations. What is certain is this: the brutality shocked even his own men. The Oprichniki, already known for their cruelty, began to question what they were doing. Some hesitated. Others carried out orders in silence, too afraid to resist. Because in Ivan's Russia, even doubt could be seen as betrayal. The massacre lasted for about 5 weeks. By the time it ended, Novgorod was no longer the same city. Historians still debate the number of victims. Some say 3,000. Others say more than 15,000. In a city of around 30,000 people, that meant a huge part of the population was gone. But the damage was not just in lives lost. Novgorod's economy collapsed. Its influence disappeared. And its spirit, the independence that once defined it, was broken. After the massacre, Ivan left the city behind. There was no victory celebration, no rebuilding plan, only silence and fear, because the message had been sent. No one in Russia was safe from the Tsar. Not nobles, not priests, not even entire cities. Even within Ivan's court, the massacre changed things. Some advisors grew uneasy. Others feared that they could be next. Because if a city like Novgorod could be destroyed, then anyone could. In the years that followed, Ivan's paranoia only grew stronger. Executions continued. Punishments became harsher. And the line between justice and madness disappeared completely. Today, the Massacre of Novgorod is remembered as one of the darkest chapters in Russian history. A moment when fear ruled over reason, when suspicion led to destruction, and when a ruler's paranoia cost thousands of innocent lives. Historians still ask the same question: did Novgorod really plan to betray Ivan? Or was it all in his mind? We may never know the truth. But one thing is certain: what happened in Novgorod shocked even those who served him. And it proved that, under Ivan the Terrible, Power had no limits.